Bonjour and welcome back to my channel, Claude here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Mystical Journey Oracle and I am very excited about this. I've had it for a couple of months and I cannot wait to share this with you. So before we start, I hope you're doing well and that your weather is not as miserable as mine, because quite frankly it is dreary here, but hey, it gives me more time indoors to do those reviews. So as always, it's going to be time-stamped in the description box below. If you don't want to see, the guidebook, the box, if you're just interested in the cards, for instance, there will be that in the bottom, that description box portion thing down there. Right, so this is an oracle deck by Tennesse Charpentier, and there are 36 cards. Generally speaking, I prefer 40 cards and above, but I made an exception simply because I really like the artwork. And obviously, again, please remember, this is a question of taste, and you may not like the artwork, I do. But yeah, so this is called the Mystical Journey Oracle, Embrace Your True Path, and this is a Rockpool published deck. I do like Rockpool. I own quite a few of their decks. I'm gonna read to you what it says at the back, just to give you a bit of an idea of what it is about. Deep within your subconscious lies the answers to life's challenging questions. This deck is designed to bring this knowledge into your conscious mind to be used as a healing guide to overcome internal and external conflict and embrace your true path. We all contain limitless potential for growth and enhanced well-being. Let these cards empower and inspire you on your journey so you can discover the riches of life that awaits you. The paintings of Tennesse Charpentier, who is known as the artist visionary art by Messiah, carry themes of spiritualism, mysticism, and inner awareness. So that's the intro to the deck. So the box, as you can tell, standard Rockpool box. This is the front. You can see it's got some holographic writing on it, which I think is stunning. Shiny, shiny. Sorry. That's the sign of the box, and it tells you that US dollars it retails at £24.95, and in the UK it's £18.99. So this is what it looks like. You have the slit there on the side so you can push it open easily, which I like, and that was what I was reading from, so I'm just going to zoom in so you can see. The box, the color scheme, for me anyway, it really speaks to me. I love all shades of blues and purples. So when you open it, you see this. Now this looks like sigil work to me, but there are no explanation in the guidebook anywhere about it, but I'm assuming it's some kind of, I don't know, protection sigil. It's sigil. And then, let me not ruin the cards, but there you go. And you have the other one at the bottom here. Now, you can tell there are different sigils, so as I said, I don't know why they're here. Sorry, there's shadows because I'm having to use the light, it's so dark, but there you go. So that's the box. So let me put it somewhere here for the time being anyway. Because it is a Rockpool deck, you get this every time, which is download your free Rockpool Oracle reading cards. So it's always in there. I've never done it. I like to touch my decks. I'm not really keen on, going on some kind of computer to do that. So then we have the guidebook, and this is how it looks like, and you can see the title here, and then the back. These are from the card artwork. Sorry, my dogs are barking as always, because some people are allowed outside and they're not allowed to leave according to my dogs. Sorry about that. So you open this beautiful guidebook. This is what it looks like. And you've got your normal blurb about Rockpool, and this is the title page, and there is, that's one of the cards as well, and there is a dedication. This Oracle card deck is dedicated to Andrew, my family, and to you. And then we move on to the contents page, which to me is very important because I like to be able to locate my cards very quickly. So you've got an introduction, tells you here, which is about 3 pages long. How to bless your deck, how to use the cards, and then we move on to the card's meaning. And as you can see, it's full color. At the end, you get about the author and illustrator. That's the same person, by the way. So I'm going to read to you the introduction because it explains the purpose of this deck. So it says the Mystical Journey Oracle is infused with intentions and blessing to support and enhance your readings. It was designed to inspire, motivate and help you discover your passions and life mission and embrace your divine path. So you will be able to change what needs to be changed, then shine your true light of cosmic divinity into this world. I paint with the purpose of healing myself and others through my artworks and believe art is therapy that creates ethereal images to heal and inspire. Any shadows and pain you experience are here turned into visions of healing, harmonizing that will transform you. So it is a very spiritual deck, which was why I wanted to have it, because I don't have many of those actually as far as oracle decks go. So, you know, I'm a big fan of animal decks, so I just thought I'd diverse a little bit. And I also wanted to use it for my ancestral work. So you will see this in the ancestor messages readings I do. Then she explains to you how to bless your deck, which I found a very nice and simple way of doing it. And then how to use the card, or the cards, should I say. So, you know, ask a question, shuffle the card, read the meaning. So it's very beginner friendly if you don't know how to use an oracle. It's always a nice refresher anyway. And there's a paragraph about trust and remembering that you need to trust your intuition. And then she's got a few spreads. So you've got the mystical card for the day layout. Then you've got the mystical month layout, which is one card as well. And then you've got your 3 card spread, you know, past, present, future. Pretty standard, but, you know, for people who have no experience, always nice to have. And then it says it's time to begin your journey. And so for each card, you get a double page. But what I particularly liked about this is that you have clearly 2 sections. One that's about divination and one that is about action. And for instance, I'm just going to read you the action for this one, the card growth, that has a little sapling in there. The action is choose a small seedling and research how best to nurture this plant. Watch it grow and keep it safe, which will teach you patience. Through trial and error, you will find the best way to help the plant reach its full potential. Now, to me, it's very interesting because it's very grounding. It's not, you know, the usual thing that you have, do this meditation on this or visualize this, visualize that. This is a very practical thing to do. And it's nice to have a reminder of growth if you pick that card, you know, like every time you nurture the plant. So I thought that was very good. And you get that for every single card. So divination and action, and obviously the card in color. Now, each card has little symbols on each side, and I don't know what they mean. There is no explanation for it. You know, obviously it's pretty, but I can't tell you what they mean. It's not explained. If you were wondering, if your mind went there like mine did when I was looking at it. And then at the end, you have a bit about the artist, and she's the author and illustrator. There she is. That's Tennesse Charpentier. She's French. She was born in France like me. She currently lives in Melbourne, Australia, and it tells you a little bit about her. And there's her website, by the way. I wanted to show you this in case you're interested in her artwork. There's the website right there. And so the last page has another one of her beautiful cards, and that's the guidebook for you. So, really like it, like how it's written, very happy with that. So now we're going to move on to the cards. So firstly, there's the deck. Look at the beautiful backs. I mean, how stunning is this? It reminds me a bit of the Lemurian deck. I think it was someone called Easy something. Let me just check. Sorry, my dog doesn't like it when I make noises either. Yes, it's called Beyond Lemuria Oracle Cards by Easy Ivy. I have the pocket edition, you see right there, and you can see what I'm talking about. It reminded me of this. Now, I only got the pocket edition because the message is at the back of the cards. I'll just show you quickly the difference in size. This is standard Oracle cards. That one, you'll see, you get the mini card and then the meaning is at the back. So for daily pulls, I kind of really like that, and you can tell the difference. This is definitely a pocket edition, but you see the artwork, so it reminded me a bit of that. Anyway, this deck is gorgeous. Look at the holographic gilding. Oh my, it's to die for. And the cardstock is, you know, standard rock pull. I really like it. It's really nice. It shuffles nicely. And it is, as you can see, it's not matte, it's not glossy, it's that satin finish, which I really like, because everyone is saying, oh, matte is so good, you know, particularly when you film, and I'm like, yeah, but they're not that easy to shuffle. They have a tendency to, you know, conglomerate in pack of 5, so I find anyway. And then the glossy ones obviously shine a lot with the video. So let's start with the cards. So let me start with number 1, because that would make sense, wouldn't it? So we have growth. Now I'm going to try and zoom in because there's a lot. No, zoom in, not out. I hope it fits. There's a lot in the cards, and you know, the artwork is really worth it. And you can see the little seedling here I was talking about. And to me, that was very easy to see the metaphor of growth, you know, something that you need to nurture and be patient with yourself and so on. So that worked. And this is a deck that I found the symbolism very easy, as in it really spoke to me, which is why I was excited to talk to you about it. I reviewed, I believe it was last week, a tarot deck called the Lorenzi Tarot that was absolutely stunning. I'm going to leave you a card here. It was stunning, but the symbolism didn't speak to me, so sadly it didn't stay in my toolbox of, you know, tarot and oracles. So then we have the card of self-care, which is number 2. I hope you can see that. And obviously here, you know, it's accepting, feeling good just as you are, with the theme of being naked and just being happy as you are. Then we have the card of New Dawn. I love the color of this, you know, great changes coming ahead, taking risks, you know, with the color of yellow, which is your the chakra, solar plexus, you know, with willpower and drive. That spoke to me. Then we have Cycles of Life. So with Cycle of Life, you know, this is the card of acceptance. Things happen for a reason, and the fact that, you know, whether you believe or not in angels, you know, you may have spirit guides, you know, they actually providing you with those changes, sometimes putting blocks on your way, because it needs to be there, because you're not ready for an experience, for instance. You know, it's that kind of idea. And the complete acceptance of this with the body language, that's very open. And I'm talking about spirit guides and angels because of the eyes in the background. Then we have the card of inspiration, and that's obviously a goddess, so, you know, the goddess of inspiration, you know, creation in every form, that kind of idea, with the key up there, so she's got the keys of inspiration. Healing hands. Now, I was confused by that card, you know, and obviously reading with the guidebook, I understood it more. Basically, this is the hand of chaos and the hand of order. And when you marry them, when they work in partnership, they bring about the right outcome. That's pretty much the idea. And, you know, accepting both of them, the fact that there will be order and chaos, light and darkness, it's that kind of idea. But I had to read the guidebook to get that. I was slightly confused. I could see chaos here in the symbolism. I assumed knowledge because of the temples here, but obviously I needed the support from the guidebook. But that was probably one of the only cards. I think there might be a couple where I needed support. Otherwise, I think it's fairly straightforward. Yeah. Then you've got the Divine Gateway, and if you look, you can see it there. That's very Lemurian, and it is a direct reference to that, the fact that in another dimension you may have access to that, you know, and also the idea that if you journey inward, you will find knowledge. I mean, you know, if you don't know anything about the folklore about Lemurians, some people are going to not be happy if I call it folklore, but there are some stories. Some people say, I don't know how to word it so that I don't offend people, that there was a people called the Lemurians, and they corresponded with telepathy, and they would teleport, and they built big temples of crystals, etc., etc., and they had great knowledge. And there is a way to access their realm, but obviously not everyone believes in that, okay? But the Divine Gateway card talks about having access to knowledge by going inwards, or access, which is a way of accessing these different realms. Sorry, that became very complicated and long explanation. The card of the inner child for number 8, I really like that, with the symbolism of the snake, which is transformation, and the octopus, which is about being in the flow and just going for it. The child is reaching out, so ready to embrace the change. You can see the light, which is obviously always positive. Yeah, really like that. Then the card of Awakening. Now, what I really like about the card of Awakening in this deck is that it is not all pinks and blues and happy colors. You can see with the mud and the darkness, because awakening is not an easy process. And this is something that we very often sweep aside because, you know, we want to be positive, you know, it's good you're being awakened. But at the same time, it's not an easy process. And this card really embodies the energy of discomfort. And, you know, it talks about also what do you genuinely want, you know, with the heart, and yeah. Anyway, it spoke to me. Then you've got the card of manifestation, and I love how the energy is flowing from everywhere, which indicates that when you manifest, you're not just using your visualization, not just using your heart, you're using everything, your hands, everything you possibly have, because everything has a vibration. Then we have the card of rising up. Love, love, love the contrast between the light and the darkness. The red in her hair, which indicates passion, drive, you know, that fire energy, and the fact that she's a very, very strong woman. So any experience where she may have fallen, it made her stronger. Really love that. The card of energy shift. Now, this card obviously can be interpreted in different ways, but there is the to me, when I see energy shift, I think about energy vampires around, you know, why is the energy shifting around me, and looking into why it's happening. Then we have the card of authenticity, and you can clearly see in the artwork the wind of change is blowing. So this is really a card that will talk about changing so that you can be happier, so that the next thing in your life is going to be what you really need. The card of resistance, you know, with this is supposed to be us in the bottom here, trying to get onto that path, experiencing maybe procrastination, you know, anything that may be not releasing something, you know, any kind of resistance, and the goddess there breathing inspiration towards you, trying to, you know, get you to go there. I really like the imagery there. Not quite sure about that little door in the back, not sure why it's there, but yeah. The card of self-realization. Now, I particularly like this card because it really shows that you've got different paths and you will get to the same destination. So if you look, you've got the main path here with the person there, but if you look very, very closely, you see there's another one there that took another path, and the destination is your higher self. So I really like that. Then we have the card of the divine being, which is a card that reminds you that you're here to experience life as a human being, you know, all of the ups and downs of life, but that ultimately you are a soul and you do not die. Then we have the card of compassion, which I thought this one was very apt for because it represents love, it represents also balance, and you know, compassion is really being balanced, understanding why some people may have hurt you, you know, that kind of idea. So I thought that was really nice and soothing in the color scheme. Then we have the card of the Universal Mother, which is basically talking about using feminine energies, you know, the yin energies, as opposed to yang energy, which is more of a masculine energy of taking action, of pushing, and so on. This is more the energy of nurturing, understanding, patience, all of that. Then I personally think this card is stunning. This is the card of letting go. So you've got the person in the middle here. This is the chasm in their heart. You can see the boat is trying to navigate this turmoil, basically, water representing your feelings, your emotion, and then you've got some light here, and she's completely open, and she's just releasing all of what is below her. I think is beautiful. Then we have the card of afterlife, and obviously another reminder that your soul is timeless. You're not going to completely die, just your body. And actually your soul becomes alive when you die, which is why you've got this beautiful light coming here. This card can also indicate, you know, the presence of your loved ones and ancestors telling you that they're here, they're around you, they're supporting you, and that all is fine. Then we have the card of New Beginnings, card 21. Now what I like about this card is the presence of the owl above it, because the owl represents knowledge, wisdom, and also focus. And when we have new beginnings, we need all of the above in order to make them successful. So I really like that. The dragon as well, which has obviously the drive, the fire energy, can also be associated to creation and inspiration. So I thought that card was spot on. Then we have the card of the path. So obviously in the middle here is where you're trying to go, and you can see that there are different paths to get there. And you know, this is the energy of being at a crossroad and having to decide which way you're going to go. I get also the energy of the Seven of Cups, you know, having all of those options and just choosing which one's going to be the best path for you, which one's going to bring you emotional fulfillment or the most excitement, depending on what you're looking for. Then we have the card of the Eternal Self, which is representing your higher self, as in your soul purpose, why you here, and try and remind yourself of that. And if you don't know, maybe look into it, that kind of idea. And you can see it with the light coming in, you know, from the crown chakra to the third eye. The card of Rebirth is probably my second favorite card here. If you look very closely, you can see the gold. She's been glued back with gold, which is based on kintsugi. I'm sure I butchered that word, but it's the Japanese art of when something is broken, you glue it back with gold to make it part of its history, its journey, and it makes it even better. So I really love the imagery here that, you know, when you are reborn, it may have been painful, but you become a better version of yourself, even though you may have the scars to show it. We then have the card of being bound. Now I think this is self-explanatory. You can see that, you know, she's in shackles of some sort with ropes, and the vegetation is stopping her from moving. You can see that, well, it could be old beliefs, it could be physical things that are bounding her, like a toxic relationship or lack of resources, whatever the case may be. Then we have the card of Sanctuary and the need to go inwards, to retreat. I love the color scheme of autumn or fall for some of you. You know, it's giving me Mabon vibes. It really is, you know, when September, October roll in, there is that need to go home, be cozy, spend some time prettying the place, that kind of thing. And I'm really getting the vibes of Sanctuary like that. It works for me. Then we have the card of Redemption. Now, it's interesting because I'm going to show you there. These are snakes. So she's asking for forgiveness, for redemption. She's completely open to it. And she's showing you maybe guilt, you know, because the snake sometimes can be associated to that, or the decisions that she's made that she knows may have been wrong. So she's completely open. She's showing you this shamelessly. And then you've got the stags and the deer at the top, which represents some kind of, what's the word, courage and also positive change coming your way. And the deer also represents intuition, so trusting yourself. I think that's what the deer represents. You know, I've memorized a lot of meanings for symbols for animals because I'm into it. Then you've got the card of clearing your space, and you can see that everything has energy, everything vibrates at a certain frequency, and the card looks busy because you need to clear off. There's too many different energies, so this may represent obviously physical energies such as objects, but could be people as well. Then we have the card of shadow work, and I got completely grabbed by the masks, you know, getting rid of your masks. So what's holding you back? Do you have destructive patterns that you revert to, or do you always say yes to people when you mean no? That kind of thing. what's beyond the mask and dealing with it. Then we have the card of resilience, and I really like this card because she looks very empowered, you know, like she's out of a action movie or a video game. And what I like is that you see everything that's on the back of her, but you don't see the path ahead. So this is really showing that she's very brave because she looks very decisive, she's going forward, whatever you throw at her, you know, she's got it. And I really like this card, I find it very empowering. Then card 31 is the card of connection. You can clearly see the two people and the bridge between their hearts. So obviously this is a card that talks about relationships, important connections. Now in the guidebook it tells you that it's a link between their inner child, which I thought was very interesting. I didn't think about it, but yeah. Then we have the card of breaking free. Now I love the murkiness, the color scheme, because this is a card of overthinking. This is the power of your thoughts, and this is seeing that she's trying to break free because maybe she has negative thoughts all the time, and she's very open, she wants to break free, but it's the power of the mind, and being aware that negative thinking can be powerful, and you know, obviously not dive into negative thinking. Then we have the rites of passage card. Now, very, very peaceful card. You can see the difference. Sorry, it's down, so you're not going to see it. What am I talking about? Yeah. You can see murky and then light. So this card, the rites of passage, talks about, you know, a milestone that you've achieved and also the transition. And sometimes it's not easy. The rite of passage can be very challenging. But these are the eyes of your higher self, and this is happening for a reason. And this person is empowered because there's a tiger right in you know, behind her, in the background of the card, which shows that she's ready because she's powerful. We then have the card of trust. Now there's a lot of there's animal vibes in this card, which is about trusting your instinct. When I see animals, that's what I see. But there is also some kind of a feline. I think it's a leopard here with the eyes, and you see the pattern. There's a leopard, and symbolically speaking, the leopard is a card of assessing things, observing, and trusting your instinct. Obviously, so trust, very apt. Then we have taking back your power. I apologize. A card that I like because I could see that the mind is being held hostage by those pillars, you know, so it could be old beliefs, things that no longer serve you, people who are toxic, whatever is tethering you to this. And then there's the desire to take back your power with the mouth being open, and you've got the water lily symbolism here. And water lilies symbolize hope and also purification and the aspiration for something, for the light, because, you know, they have their roots in the ground, in the mud, and they always grow towards the light. So I really like that. And then the last card is the card of life review, which is someone who is standing there looking very grounded, you know, not unstable due to the color scheme and where they are, and the clear triple goddess image, you know, of the three stages, you know, of life: the young person, the middle age, and the older one, or the crones, if you will. So that was the review for the Mystical Journey Oracle. As you can tell by my review, I truly love it. I think it's awesome. I love the quality of the deck. I love the artwork. It really spoke to me. Yeah, I've been using it a lot already in my personal practice and for ancestor work. So let me know if you have this deck, if you're thinking about getting it, and or not. And if you don't like it, let me know too, because, you know, the world would be a very boring place if we all had the same points of views. So either way, I hope that wherever you are in this world and whenever you're watching this, you have a truly magical day. I thank you for your time. It's your most precious commodity. I'm so grateful you chose to spend it with me, and I will see you again very soon. Until next time, au revoir.